What's up, everyone? This is the Destroyer 229, and welcome back to the Battle of Lumbridge. Now, first off, I would like to deeply apologize for why it's been such a delay. You see, the first episode for the first week was supposed to be in 2 parts, but a good chunk of my commentary didn't get recorded. I don't know why. It just didn't record. So rather than trying to do post commentary, since I can't read the text as post commentary, it's only really clear as I'm playing the game. I didn't think that it would quite be worth it, so I just kind of forsook the rest of that. But now we get to see week 2, and now I can actually get into the mechanics of it. So, first thing you'll notice is the lead. You see, there have been quite a few votes casted over the past week. Sarah Doman currently has 44.7 million votes. Now, it takes 10 tiers gathered, which I'll show you how to get the different ways of doing that. It takes 10 tiers to get 1 vote. So, basically, multiply 44,743,300, or 744,083, because the number just changed, by 10. And you'll have that many tiers collected for Sarah Doman. For Zamorak, it's 32.5 million. So, there's quite a bit. Sarah Doman's currently leading by over 12 million. And the lead continues to increase. But the rate that that's increasing is very much slowed down, especially considering how popular the Sarah Doman side is. Now, before we really get going, I'm going to show you guys a bit of a little bonus event that happens. You see, when you log in, the game reminds you to see Duke Horatio, the Duke of Lumbridge. And what he'll basically do is, he went through this the first time I went through it. I'm not sure if he's going to go through it a second time, now it's the second week. But basically, he's not standing idly by and watch as Lumbridge gets pretty much destroyed by this war. So he's opened up the emergency treasury to help reconstruct Lumbridge. And for helping doing so, you can actually get bonus XP. Go into my skills. There's a bit of a 4th category where prayer is. I put it into prayer since I'm trying to raise that for the achievement diaries, or tasks as they're now called. So I put my bonus XP into that. So let's go ahead and talk to Duke Horatio. He doesn't have a voice. Greetings, welcome to my castle. Let's see, how do you deal with the plan with the current crisis? Okay, it seems like he's gonna say the same thing, so I'll just say what he states. The situation in Lumbridge is catastrophic, but I believe it is possible to do something about it if we break it down into small, manageable chunks. I've officially unlocked the emergency treasury and plan to use it to address individual problems that come to my attention. So, what we can do now is to work with the Duke's Dilemma. Previously... Okay, I don't know why that's in green. Maybe that's what most people put in. But there are 4 different options, each using up a different amount of the treasury. The first one... Okay, so the situation is 2 crafters, each with a wife and child, have lost their homes in the destruction. There is a damaged house in Lumbridge which could be restored. You have 4 options. The first 2 cost, and you have a total of 200,000 GP, I'm guessing. So the first option and the second option both cost 20,000. The first option is letting a Zamoraki herbalist move into the new house. The second option is a Sarah Domanist summoner. The third option, which I guess it's in green because that's the most popular chosen, was to restore the house as a refugee shelter and moving both families in. That costs 40,000 GP. And then the last option is to just leave the house alone, which was for free. So this week... Oh, wow. Okay, so apparently it is determined by the community. That's troublesome. So I guess it's voted on by everyone, and the most popular one, which is the one in green, is what the Duke actually goes for. That's a little frightening. Okay. So, this week, we could expand our private army to help in the defense of Lumbridge, in case the fighting spills from the crater. So now we have, thanks to the vote from last time, 120,000. So we can either recruit more guardsmen, which is 30,000, form a militia, which is 15,000, legitimize the Thieves Guild in exchange for aid. By the way, yes, there is a Thieves Guild in Lumbridge, which is 15,000, or do nothing. I'm actually going to legitimize the Thieves Guild. That actually sounds like a pretty interesting way to go. Then again, like, the thing is, the Thieves Guild wants to have recognition. I think mostly it's from Ardoing, more so than Lumbridge, but then again, forming a militia, both of these have pretty good and bad repercussions, now that I think about it. Because a militia, that's just formed by people's enthusiasm. Difficult choice, and it really doesn't matter all that much, but it's these types of moral dilemmas, Okay, so forming people's militia, so it really depends on whether the people are enthusiastic or legitimize the Thieves Guild. So, they're basically unofficial at this point. And this would make it so that Lumbridge recognizes it. You know what, let's go with the militia. Because thieves... I mean, it would be interesting, but in case the fighting actually spills, I mean, you can use thieves and assassins, but they're more behind the scenes, and you can't rely on them. I mean, they are a very important asset, but if you focus your attention on that, that's not really going to help you that much if you just keep it. So let's cast a vote for the militia. Okay, and bonus XP. Where to put it in this time? I am going for fire making. I am also going for strength. No, let's put it into strength. Bonus strength XP. Duke grants you an XP bonus of 32,258 in strength. Nice. The next time I train Slayer, I can get bonus strength XP. Hooray! Alright. So let's go on and head back to the battlefield now. It is interesting just how many new tracks and how many tracks that they've redone. It's actually quite nicely done. I really enjoy music in games, and I'm so glad about this music. I mean, yeah, there's still so many tracks that need to be redone, but you have close to 1,000 tracks, and they've gotten about 100 of them, so yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how the collection works. First, let's enter the battlefield. Okay, so again to the actual world. There are instance battlefields if it gets too full, but I'll show you guys exactly what you need to do to gather the various resources. There are 3 ways of gathering them via skilling. You have chopping them down in tall formations such as these. So you basically swing any sort of hatchet you have, and you can gather the divine tears. I've done a little bit of collecting them today, and what they basically do, I have a ×4 multiplier. So this basically means that for the most part, I will get, on average, a ×4 multiplier when gathering tears, either through skilling or combat. And you can only get a maximum of 3,000 each day. And it resets to 5,000 as well. So I can just keep on doing this until the formation basically goes gray, and then move on to a different one. The number here, 10,051, that is my current contribution. Multiply that by 10, so basically 10,510, and that is how many tiers that I have turned in. So I've done quite a bit over the last week. You also see these little square things. These were votes cast. As you turn in the tiers, you gather renown. And I know that I'm sounding really tutorial-ish, but I didn't get a chance to get through this last time, so please bear with me. Oh, turning yellow. There are also random events that happen here, so do be on the lookout for those. Some of them are helpful, some of them are can hurt you. If you continue gathering supplies when they're glowing like that, you will get hurt. Kind of like that dude right there. But as for the casting votes, as you turn in tiers, you gather votes to cast for certain decisions that we pass on to the next week. It's determined by how much contribution you have. One contribution is equal to 10 tiers. So the votes that were cast for last week were either to have players inflict 10% more damage to opposing NPCs, or to have players receive 15% less damage. So both sides basically went for the inflict 10% more damage. So yeah. And this week is different. There are different votes that are cast each week, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to get different. You see that I can gather woodcutting that way. You can also go ahead and mine these smaller formations with any sort of pickaxe you have equipped. And then finally, you can cast a net and gather some crystals, or tiers, really, via fishing. So these are the 3 skilling options, and you can also get it from just various skilling. And I managed to get some tiers when I was working on my clan's Citadel contribution. So you can get them in the regular game world, and I'm pretty sure that the recruiter mentioned that. But it's more than just simply skilling. As you can see, there are these various NPCs that run around on the battlefield and basically try to kill each other. There are various items and ways you can gather tier through killing these NPCs, and that's why I'm all armored up. Now, if I can just find a Zamorak dude. Here we are, this dude. Ah, no! No! This is my kill! This is mine! Yeah. The reason why I'm kind of anal about that is because any drops that these guys give, they will only give to the first person who attacked them. Anyone else, even if they deal more damage, they don't get jack squat. So basically, you can gather tiers every time you kill them based on what your current multiplier is. Ah, darn it. Come on, let me get him. Yes! This one's mine! Haha! And of course, if they're fighting an NPC, it does make things a little bit easier. Now, you can gather tiers based on your current multiplier. However, what's interesting about combat is that there are a lot more things you can do with it. You see these silver tiers that I have? These are sacred metal fragments. Now, what these do is that if you gather 1,000 of them, you can use them to create a cosmetic override. And I have it from these 3 items. Right here. I've already got all 3 that I can get for the Ceradomin side. And there's 3 from if you're on Ceradomin, 3 if you're on Zamorak. So there's 6 cosmetic overrides in total. Each are based on a different form of combat. So you see this one is I'll read it to you. It's an Icenic Orb. So, if I have any sort of orb, I can use this as a cosmetic override. This one is an Icenic Great Hammer Head. Ah. That's a bit of a tough one to say. So that will work with any sort of melee weapon. Maybe if it's just battle axes or hammers, maybe it's all melee weapons, I'm not sure. And then this one, which is the one that I'm currently going for, is the Icenic Bow Staff. So any sort of bow, I can override with that. Now, like I said, the Zamorak side also has their own, so if you're on Zamorak's side and you choose to kill Ceradomus NPCs, you'll get your own 3 cosmetic overrides. And like I said, you need 1,000 of these metal fragments. I currently have 553 of them. So, yeah, it is a bit of a trial, and they're not guaranteed drops. So, yeah, you do have to be careful. Now, hopefully I can gather one of these on screen so you can see it. Now, there's also various other things that you can get while fighting. From what I have seen, you can get various titles randomly, either from collecting, I think, but definitely from combat. There's 4 special titles, and they're pretty rare to get. I haven't gotten any of those yet, but I did run into someone who did manage to get one, so, oh. Don't tell me that, dude. Did that dude seriously steal my kill? I think he did, the little jerk. Maybe it was a Ceradomus dude, I don't know. But anyway, you can get those things. You can also get various items, consumables to help you out on the battlefield. And what they'll do is that they'll raise your attack power, they'll raise your defenses, they'll give you more tiers, and they'll block certain attacks. Like if an attack is higher than your level, it will completely negate it. Now I'm going to go ahead and deposit the 71 tiers that I currently have. That earns me 71 renown, which allows me to spend, and gives me 7 votes. What these votes will do is that the current week is reinforcements. On the left side are, for the Ceradominists, excuse me, are the heroes. Now the heroes, they have a 50% chance of spawning, as opposed to the regular dudes. They have 50% more life points than the normal dudes. And they provide a small healing buff to any allied units. So I'm guessing players and NPCs alike. That's currently the most popular one. That's where my votes are going for. I went for the more defensive side before, but this time I'm going with heroes, so I'm going with the majority on this one. And on the right side are siege units. They have a lower probability of occurring, only 10% chance of spawning, but they deal twice as much damage. They deal 100% more, so they are twice as powerful. And what they do is that they bombard the battlefield, harming enemy units and players. So I'm guessing like they will attack. They have like an area attack and they'll hit all the Zamorakian side. I'm going to go ahead and go with the heroes, so I'll put my 7 votes there. And 7 votes were just cast for that. Now for the rewards, currently only tier 1 is around, but the other 2 will unlock as the weeks go on. For Sacred Armor, this is basically a hybrid armor set. I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, but I'll go ahead and mention it again if I have. This armor set scales with your defense level. It's a hybrid set, which means it's good against all 3 combat styles. And it scales with your defense level up to a maximum of level 75 defense. So it's actually pretty good. As you can see, I already have the gauntlets and I already have the boots. These are 1,500 renown to get initially, but I have a discount since I've already bought them. Now here we have emotes and titles. There's only one of each. The title Acolyte, which I don't use titles, so I don't really care. And an emote, which is used from the token that you get. Various experience lamps to give you XP so that you're not completely wasting your time in case you don't want any of this cosmetic stuff or armor. And then various consumables to help you on the battlefield. You can buy those. So that's basically the full extent. Now, right now, Ceradomin's lead has gone up a little bit. 12,240,000. But like I said, even though Ceradomin's lead continues to rise, considering how many players are on the Ceradomin side, the Zamarakians are putting up quite a bit of a fight. Plus, once all 3 tiers are unlocked, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to switch sides to try to get everything. So, who knows how this battle is going to turn out. It's still week 2 out of 10. So that's basically the full extent of the Battle of Lumbridge. So, tune in next week when I show you guys the changes that occur in week 3. So until then, everyone, take care.